Hello, welcome back to the 11th planner update of 2023. We have just December left to go, kind of in denial, but we just have December left to go before jumping into all of the 2024 stuff, and I am so excited. I actually need your opinion. Would you like to see a 2024 planner lineup video before I dive into any of them? Or do you feel like that's kind of useless and I should probably wait until I actually start using them to make a systems video? So do let me know what you think about that. I can do either way. But anyways, the agenda for today is I'm first going to show you my pocket bullet journal. I'm going to introduce this new guy. I will then show you all of my Hobonichi Cousin spreads, and then I will show you one thing that I have done for my 2024 cousin. So 4 things to go over today. Starting with the pocket bullet journal. Let's see. My pocket bullet journal in November is a little bit weird. This is the finished monthly spread, and I made it a travel theme with the travel time emojis washi and the around the world washi. And I really like this kind of beige and periwinkle combo. I think it looks really peaceful and nice. Then we have the November in review. This is basically where I just make a doodle of any highlights throughout the month, not necessarily every single day. So I had a nail appointment, I made some apple hand pies, went to Chicago, met up with friends, more Chicago stuff, went to Orlando, had brunch, then the planner conference, went back home, visited my nephew. I will talk about this a little bit later. I got some new meds, watched the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie, had a week of sickness, and then we had the Black Friday sale as well as my mom's birthday, and then I had my first painting session. And then here I was just making some book notes. I was traveling and I didn't bring my book journal, so I was just making notes on this page. Very random. And then this is the Ode to Da Vinci washi tape. As you guys probably know by now, I change my bullet journal layouts based on whatever I need for that particular day or week. So this was more of like a split sort of day. I have my to-do list here, some notes here, and then just like a random section of my grocery list, which I actually remember why I doodled this. So during the planner conference, I think it was the hand lettering workshop, we were given this Tombow mono drawing pen, and I really wanted to make some doodles with it, and I actually really like this fine liner, so that is why I made a bunch of doodles here. And then this is a random horizontal spread. I made a to-do list, and then I went to watch the Eras Tour movie. And my favorite song is Enchanted, so I just wrote down some lyrics from there. This was the beginning of my 2024 holidays project. So every year I make a sticker sheet of all of the general holidays, and then I also make a bunch of country and religion specific holidays. And the key to staying on track is making a list of all of the holidays that I want to do, divide it by how many days I have until the deadline, and then just section it off that way. So here I have my list of general sheets, Canadian holidays. Initially I thought I needed to do 10 to 12 per sheet, but then it ended up being 14. So I eventually had to add a bunch of extra ones as well. And actually for most countries, there aren't 14 public holidays throughout the year. So I had to do some fun ones. Like for example, the Canadian holidays, I did Beaver Day, Maple Syrup Day, maybe something else as well. So yeah, we also have United States. And then this was my favorite new addition, stationery holidays. So things like Sticker Day, Handwriting Day, Fountain Pen Day, stuff like that. And yeah, this was actually, I think, the best seller in terms of the add-on sheets. And then I guess I took a little break here and I did a full page dedicated to Saturday. Sometimes if it's a really busy day, I like to color block my day. So here, pink is personal stuff, purple is work stuff. You might be wondering why some of it is shaded in and some of it is just boxed off. It is just because, like, for example, from 6 in the morning to 8, it was all personal stuff, so pink, but then one part of it is working out and then the other part of it was reading, so I kind of wanted to differentiate that. Then it looks like I cut out a page, but I like genuinely cannot remember what I cut out. It might have been notes for the 2024 holidays that was inaccurate, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, this is continuing on with the holidays list. So I have some UK holidays, Australia, Islamic. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this. This was really funny. But anyways, we have Islamic holidays. Oh my gosh, Pride, Japan, Christian, Jewish, China, Wheel of the Year, which is like pagan holidays, Asian holiday sampler, Mexico, and then Hindu, which I don't know why I didn't make a list for that. But yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. And as you can see, my handwriting was getting messier and messier because I was getting more and more desperate. Here I wrote January 6th is Epiphany, but then I rewrote it. I don't know, things were weird in my brain these few days. Oh, also, this was when I had my cold and a fever. So that's also kind of in my defense. But anyways, I want to go back to this spread, which I find very hilarious. So if you don't know what 75 hard is, it's kind of like a mental discipline challenge where for 75 days, there are a list of rules that you have to follow. So the rules are, you pick a diet to follow. It can be anything, and I chose no added sugar. You have to work out twice a day, 45 minutes each, once outside. This one was okay because I work out every day for about an hour anyways, and then I like basically speed walk everywhere. So this one was fine. Drink a gallon of water every day, which I had zero concept of what a gallon looked like, so I had to convert it to liters. This one was quite difficult because I struggle with drinking enough water. You're supposed to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. This one was okay. And just take a progress photo. So honestly, like everything except for the no added sugar and the water, I thought it was quite manageable and I thought it was a fun challenge to do. So I created this spread, and then as you can see, day 1, day 2, day 3, I was doing fine. And then by day 4, I couldn't because I had a fever, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just stop this because I am clearly not okay. So yeah, this challenge didn't really pan out how I wanted to, but I think I would like to try this again because I think I can do it. So we will revisit this at a later date. I just thought it was kind of funny that I lasted basically 3.5 days. Anyways, I doodled this like emoji that says I'm done because this like holidays project took a little bit of my soul away. And then here I had a bunch of empty space, so I went through my camera roll and I doodled every croissant that I have ever taken a photo of. So yeah, why did I do that? I don't know. I just felt like doodling croissants. I quite like this page. Just a little bit of my weekend as well as Monday. I basically split the day in half, so to-do list and some doodles. And then I alternated, so this is the doodles and then my to-do list. This was at the end of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. A little funny story. So my mom, my dad, and we were discussing the subscription, and then I think we were just all so sleep deprived that when my mom went to say subscription, she accidentally said Subway. And I basically died laughing. So yeah, there was that. And then a hectic few days, so I decided to do a dedicated to-do list on one side and then a full schedule on the other. And again, I like to color code between personal and work stuff. And yeah, those were all of my November spreads. I got started actually earlier today on my December monthly as well as the December in review. So still loving my bullet journal. It's always there when I need it, and I cannot wait to continue this into December. And then moving on to this guy. So this is the Emoji branded Leuchtturm, which I honestly started using just because I wanted to use it. And what I have decided to use this for is kind of like a daily reflections journal. And I've actually been pretty good with keeping up with it. Let's see. This is kind of the format. So, another reason why I wanted to do this was because I have so many washi tapes and I just want to use more of my washi tapes. So what I have been doing is putting a strip down on each page, and then I write the date at the top, and then I have a section for things that I'm grateful for each day, things that I'm proud of, and then things that I can work on. And it's very it's not very serious, so just whatever that comes to mind. So for example, on this day I was grateful for my mom, my customers. I was proud of challenging myself with adding some imperfections to my day because I am very unhealthily attached to routines. So anything unexpected I am proud of if I'm able to not spiral. And then things that I can work on is doing my skincare and taking breaks from looking at the screen. So stuff like that. And yeah, I've just been basically doing this every day and it's been great. There were a few times where I accidentally skipped a page. So here I went from the 21st, skipped this page to the 22nd, 23rd, and then I went back to fill it out. So some of it's not chronological, but yeah. And yeah, is this necessary? Probably not, but I do feel like it's a nice pocket of my evening where I get to just sit down with my thoughts, and also actually use up some of my washi tape. So I do plan on continuing this into December as well. Okay, then let's talk about my Hobonichi Cousin. I struggled with keeping up with the weekly section of my Hobonichi Cousin for this month. November was a very busy and out of routine month for me with my traveling as well as Black Friday and just my general health. So again, I did struggle. I know a lot of you watch my videos for inspiration on keeping up with your journals, but I also hope that it's reassuring to see that sometimes I do leave a lot of blank spaces when it's just not beneficial for me to stress about filling everything out. So yeah, this was the week leading up to my travels. This was the week where I was in the US. I didn't put in too much information because you will see later in the daily section I journaled a lot about it, so I definitely didn't miss out on documenting any memories, but I just wanted to fill out a few things in the weekly section. And then this was the week that I came back. I fell off a little bit on the weekend. I think I was starting to get really stressed with Black Friday prep, so that's why I just didn't really bother filling this out. I also started some new medication this week, which so far has not done anything, so yay for that. And then this was the previous week, which I filmed a plan with me on. I really like the idea of splitting the washi tapes in half to kind of create this border. And then this is this current week. I used the same like planner supplies washi, but this is like the dark version, and then this is the light version. Again, keeping it very simple, but I think for next week I'm actually going to use some sort of weekly sticker kit because I actually really miss using my Hobonichi Cousin kits. I feel like it makes decorating a lot easier, especially during my busier weeks. So yeah, I do really like this, so this more minimal look. And then moving on to the daily section, I do have a funny thing. So as many of you know, I have been on a finish a roll of washi tape challenge since September. You can see this is when I started, and I have not missed a single day in the attempt to finish this roll of washi. And unfortunately, I think mid-November or like late November, the washi tape got so small that I lost the freaking roll of washi tape. I literally cannot find it. I swear I could have finished it in perhaps 2 to 3 more spreads. I was so close and I just can't find it. I was so upset, but I will show you guys that in a bit. So these were all of my daily prompts in November, and I basically answer each prompt at the top of the spread. So November 1st, hello November. Here I was making a list of things that I needed to pack. On Fridays, I always bake something or make something for my parents to bring over to my sister, and on this day I made apple hand pies with some puff pastry, and it was delicious. Here I was packing some more stuff. This was the day before I left for Chicago, and then this was the day I left for Chicago. So this was a little doodle of my ticket, and I mentioned this in my October planner update, but before I left, to kind of set myself up for success, I pre-wrote all of my prompts here, so I didn't have to stress about it during my trip. And I also changed from answering the prompt at the top to on the sidebar because I figured during my trip I'm not gonna have like a very long to-do list, so might as well take up the space. I landed in Chicago in the evening and I had a salad from this place called Kaiser Tiger. Then I went to La Colombe for coffee, went to Whole Foods and got a bunch of cool Go Macro bar flavors, met up with some friends at Revival Food Hall, so I doodled my turkey sandwich. This was a swatch of the Robert Oster ink that I got from Atlas Stationers. I went to the Starbucks Reserve and also Trader Joe's. So as you can see, during my travels, I journaled a lot, which is why I didn't feel the need to fill up this weekly spread very much. Lots of details here. On Tuesday, I went to a coffee shop, which if you watched my Chicago vlog, you will know that I had a lot of trouble pronouncing this name, so I'm not gonna try again. And then I had a sandwich at Potbelly, gelato, and went to Leven Bakery for a cookie. I was starting to get very sleep deprived. I went to Good Ambler, the Field Museum, a salad from Sweet Green, and then I went to Paris Baguette. Thursday was when I left Chicago, so I went to La Colombe again, and then I landed in Orlando, so I doodled some palm trees. This was a really hectic day. I had new releases along with all of the planner conference activities. I had brunch with Diana at First Watch. We went to Target. We had this like beautiful floral delivery for my table centerpiece. And then I also did a meet and greet in the evening with a bunch of customers who showed up, and we took photos with the giant emoji. By the way, I'm going through this very briefly because I did 2 full vlogs on my channel of this trip, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But this was the official planner conference day, and we had a bunch of speakers, and then we also did a girl boss panel where we answered a bunch of questions. Lots more activities, and then at the bottom I wrote, "This trip healed a part of me." Very sweet. And then on Sunday, this is when I flew back. So I flew from Orlando. I had a stop at Seattle. It was a 40-minute layover, which stressed me out a lot because I was not familiar with the Seattle airport at all, and I wasn't sure where to go. But thankfully I made it back to Vancouver. And I was also very stressed because the Orlando airport had this line that it was the longest line I have ever seen. It was the TSA security line, and I swear I had to walk like 5 to 10 minutes to get to the back of the line. And I was also very stressed that I wouldn't make it in time, but thankfully the line actually moved fairly quickly. But yeah, that was my doodle of the line. Also, because the layover was only 40 minutes, my checked luggage didn't make it to Vancouver with me, so I had to like fill out this form, and then thankfully they drove it over later in the evening, but I was also quite worried about that. Overall, a very stressful travel day. The next day, I immediately drove over to my sister's place because I wanted to see my nephew, and he grew so much within a week. Maybe it was in my head, but I definitely felt like he got a lot heavier. And he also like smiled at me, and it was so sweet. Anyways, on Tuesday we had 3 like major deliveries, and it was just a very hectic day. So I doodled some logos. On this day, what happened here? Oh yeah, so my to-do lists were very short on these days because the Chicago and Orlando vlogs that I uploaded for my channel basically took several full days of me sitting at my desk editing. The clips were so out of order and choppy and low quality that yeah, editing just sucked the soul out of me. So that's why my to-do list was so short. It was just basically me editing. And then I doodled this little thing of a boy with a bunch of flying papers because there was this boy, I don't know what happened, but I think he dropped like, it must have been hundreds of sheets of printer paper, just blank printer paper all over the streets, and he was just picking it up, and it was like partially raining and all of that, and I was on my way to the gym and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, poor guy. So yeah, I helped him pick up all of the pieces of paper. All right. Thursday I swatched the new washi tapes. This is Winter Critters 2.0 and Icetown. I'm saving these to officially use when we actually get snow, but I definitely wanted to swatch it. And this is when I started my new medication, which again has not really done anything, but that's okay. On Friday, I went to watch the Eras tour, and yeah, the movie theater had like a few other people. It was relatively empty, but I actually cried as soon as the first song came on. And as much as I love Taylor Swift, it wasn't because I love her so much that I started crying, but I think it was just like, this year has been really hard for me, and I think just taking some time to myself to go to the theaters and kind of just melting into the recliner seats, it was like a feeling of relief. I'm not gonna say I didn't get like a single day of break in 2023 because that's definitely false, but it just felt like the first break that I've had to myself in a long time, and it was just this like rush of relief, and I genuinely cried. It was kind of weird, but yeah, that was a nice afternoon. I got some running tops and also a running glove for the winter time when it gets very cold. Here I drew some graphs from this book that I was reading. And then this is when I realized that I was probably starting to catch a cold. And this is when I stopped being in denial and acknowledged that I was getting sick. I noted that this was a rather expensive day because I bought a giant bouquet of roses and lilies for my mom's birthday. I also bought some sweatsuits for my mom. My mom loves wearing sweatsuits, so like matching sweatshirts and sweatpants. And there's this like particular duo that she likes, and it came out in 4 new colors. So for her birthday, I decided to buy 2 of them. So yeah. And then number 3, I bought some new art supplies. I think this was like the day I had the fever, so I was just out of it. I didn't bother making a to-do list. No shame about that. And then I think, yeah, whoops. This was when I lost the washi tape. I still left the space for it because I was like, oh, it's probably just somewhere. But yeah, I still have not found it. So I think that's kind of funny. And as you can see, I was in denial that it was missing. I kept leaving the space for it, but I just never ended up finding it. So for this year, my mom's birthday and Black Friday coincided, so it was kind of a hectic day. I started the day off with a doodle of my mom, and I wrote down several reasons why my mom is awesome. And then this was like a little schedule of the day because again, it was super hectic with the Black Friday sale. And this was a medium productive day. All right. Why did I say I did it here? Oh, I officially finished the Cyber Monday prep on Sunday evening. Very last minute this year. I was just so out of it, but yeah, I was very pleased with all of the digital new releases that I was able to do. And I still get a lot of comments under my videos asking about digital stickers. If you like digital products, I released 4 new sets for Cyber Monday, so definitely check the shop if you're interested. And then on Monday, I officially stopped leaving a space for the washi tape, and I wrote officially accepting that I lost the challenge washi roll. So sad. And then you can see I stopped leaving the space here. Ooh, this was exciting. So in my previous video, I mentioned that I really was thinking about taking a plein air oil painting course. And a lot of you encouraged me and I signed up for it. And Tuesday was when I took the first lesson. It was for 3 hours and we just picked a spot at the park and set up all of the oil paintings or the oil paints and canvas, and he taught me how to paint and it was so nice. Unfortunately, I will not be continuing because it is a winter time. I get cold very easily, and standing in the middle of the forest for 3 hours barely moving is a recipe for disaster, and I cannot continue that. So during the painting session, I was so into it. I was so into the zone that I didn't notice how cold that I was. It was only after we finished that I realized that I could barely walk because my toes were so frozen. And I had to ignore stranger danger and ask the instructor if he could drive me to the mall so I could warm up a little bit. He was very nice, and he actually offered as well. And we had a nice chat in the car. Probably would not have done that under typical circumstances, but I felt like it was more dangerous for me to attempt to walk back home with basically frozen feet. I would say it would have been a 10 out of 10 experience if it wasn't like 1 degree Celsius outside. But yeah, I think this has definitely inspired me to do some more personal paintings and art as well. That's unrelated to work. On Wednesday, I was listening to Taylor Swift's Vault track, You're Losing Me, over and over again. I'm not kidding. I packed orders on this day for 2 hours, and for that entire 2 hours, I had this one song on repeat. And then this was the last spread for November. And I kind of took this idea from Julie Plans and I did kind of like a November in review with a bunch of washi tapes. And yeah, this is my December title page. I went to a list of 1,000 journaling prompts and I randomly generated all of these. So it's a very interesting mix of prompts and I'm really excited to dive in. And I made a section for things that I'm bringing into December and things that I am leaving behind in November. And this is a little peek of today. So yeah, oh my gosh, I am so tired of talking, but I do have one more thing to show you. This is very quick. So this is my 2024 Hobonichi Cousin avec. I haven't done any planning in it, obviously, because we are far from 2024 starting. But I wanted to share this because I feel like some of you might want to try this as well. So I took some time to write a letter to myself. Basically, from the perspective of 2023 me to 2024 me. I have not finished the letter yet because my wrists hurt if I write for long periods of time, even with fountain pens. If it's gel pen, I hurt after like a minute straight of writing. With fountain pens, I can definitely do like a 30-minute session or something. But yeah, this is definitely not complete, but I started writing kind of like a letter to myself, and I think this is going to be like a beautiful way to end off 2023 and starting 2024 on a fun note. And I just decided to do this in the back section. It comes with a note. It comes with a few note pages, and I think this is perfect. So just a little inspiration for anyone if you are not sure what you want to do in the note section of the Hobonichi Cousin. So anyways, I cannot talk anymore. Thank you so much for watching. We just have the December planner update left to go, and I'm so excited to dive into all of my 2024 planners. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.